I can see that the situation is escalating. They are trying to put pressure on us and the Russians. They claim that Putin and Lukashenko are aggressors and so on. This cannot be allowed to happen. They will not be able to cope with us. Do they really want to see a repeat of the events of the middle of the last century? They will not be able to cope with us. We will defend our land alongside the Russians to the last man. The Suwalki corridor to Kaliningrad? The Russians transport goods there from their own territory. Not nuclear weapons, not weapons, but goods. These goods are checked by Lithuanian border guards. They are checked. What are you doing? This is an empire, a nuclear state. What are you getting yourself into? Why are you stopping the Russians from communicating with their territory normally? On launch of weather balloons carrying contraband cigarettes into Lithuanian territory. Russian. You have closed our access to the ports of Lithuania, Latvia, and Poland, but those ports belong to you. You closed them. We are not going there. However, when we found a port in the Leningrad region, they said, we will close the Baltic Sea. So we are sitting with Putin, discussing this issue. I said, look what they've come to. They've become completely insolent. What is the solution? We will escort our merchant ships with military vessels. Is that what you want? They're asking for trouble. Who is pushing them to do this? Well, we can only guess. They are being encouraged to reignite conflict in Europe. That's why I'm retreating carefully, but only for a certain period. Yes, we will investigate. Yes, it is bad that these balloons, weather balloons with contraband cigarettes, are being exchanged. It would be better to transport them by train, because balloons pose a threat to civilian airports. Yes, we will look into it and get to the bottom of it. We will deal with these people harshly. But that won't do any good. You, Lithuania, need to figure out why this is happening. If you look deeper, you will see that it is the Lithuanian and Polish authorities who are to blame for this situation. Why did you put people in such conditions? 6% of GDP, this is billions of dollars. If you buy a gun, you don't buy it just to hang it on the wall, right? Even hanging it might shoot once a year. They must be buying weapons all over the world for some reason and shouting, why has Lukashenko brought nuclear weapons? Why has Lukashenko brought Oreshnik? What am I to do? Should I sit and wait till they rape our women and kill our children as they did in 1941? I don't want that. So I say, guys, nuclear weapons are a terrible thing. For your information, we have already exchanged our nuclear weapons. We brought it to Russia and took the newest one back to Belarus. We put it into order. It is an expensive thing to service. Russia is helping. We took it back. We are training on how to use it from planes and missiles. We are not hiding it either. The Oreshnik is a formidable weapon. It will be put on combat duty from December. Why? To make it clear to our opponents abroad that we can strike back if things go badly. We will sit down with Russian President Vladimir Putin, make a decision, and strike, so don't provoke us. Former Nexta Telegram channel editor-in-chief Roman Protasevich is an employee of our intelligence service. Why did we need to detain him? So here's the question. Why did they fly off to Vilnius, didn't land there, but flew back to Minsk after the call that they had an explosive on board? Did you fly to Vilnius? Did you remember? You were flying over Vilnius. When it was time to land, you turned around and flew to Minsk. Landed in Minsk. I said to conduct the operation. He was working under cover of those fugitives. So, carry out the operation as is. And we had to carry out the operation on his arrest. We didn't need to detain him. He arrived in Greece, where he was summoned. He reported the intelligence to scouts, received the assignment, and flew back through Vilnius. We were accused of detaining an opposition figure. He is not our opposition figure. We did not detain an opposition figure. All this to convince you if you are not aware of the situation. So the sanctions followed. And now, the same, we must apologize to the Lithuanians. For what? We cannot be manipulated.